Angus Booker has guests from all walks of life at his Caravan park. But when a group of anti-vaxxers turned up in a bus and began spreading their message, he says he had to draw a line and cancel the booking. That's when things turned ugly.
The manager has asked us to leave because they do not agree with our politics.
The reality was that, we don't allow people to conduct their business in our park, especially without our consent.
In other words, they really don't care whether your children are injured or killed by vaccines.
Their actions have been slammed as inappropriate and downright irresponsible by health experts.
I am concerned that this bus is travelling around spreading misinformation.
Anti-vaxxers touring the country to spread their beliefs about compulsory vaccination.
Well, my father recently passed away as a result of a flu vaccination.
Immunisation is one of the great public health success stories of the world.
How awesome is that? Hey, vax too.
While it's the first time the Vax bus has hit the road here in Australia, the group behind it toured in 2016 and 2017, screening a documentary made in the United States. It was met with controversy back then, and this time is no different.
What's it all about? What you guys do with this?
We're going...
I'm reading Australian Vaccination Risk Network.
That's right.
In the midst of a pandemic, the group kicked off their tour back in July, starting in southeast Queensland.
We are heading into Brisbane. It's happening. On the road. On the road.
Visiting 11 destinations, one of those Caloundra on the Sunshine Coast. Under the cover of darkness, this CCTV footage shows the moment the bus pulls into the Big Four holiday park where it was booked in to stay. Staff completely unaware of exactly who their new guests were. Having checked themselves into the park at around 10:30 at night when no one was in the office, the anti-vaccination group parked their heavily branded black and red bus at this site, which they intended to use as the location to film anti-vax videos.
We have every right to be here. We have not done anything to disrupt anyone.
So they were going to be using the park to sort of host these people they interview and to create content. So once we became apparent that that's what they were doing, we, by chance, I was passing through reception, and so we had quite a frank conversation with them.
CEO Angus Booker cancelled their booking, gave them a full refund, and says he politely asked them to leave. Unhappy with his decision, they hit back. After they left reception, they went and got the lead figurehead of the organisation to come back into reception, and she was live streaming on Facebook.
We have the van, the Vax bus. Is it possible to speak with the manager who asked us to leave, please?
Meryl Dorey is the founder of the organisation. Anita Huffmeister is the president. In this recent post, Meryl asks if Australians are being lied to about the pandemic. Is our nation overwhelming us with lies and killing our economy and us?
I'm asking my staff to sort of implement, good government health regulations and guidelines. And so it's just really difficult to see people who sort of don't believe in that sort of trying to have a go at us.
These anti-vaccination groups may make a lot of noise, but they are a very extreme minority view. They're not based on science. They're not based on the best medical evidence.
Dr. Karen Phelps.
We are preventing diseases like measles, mumps, chickenpox, rubella, polio, hepatitis, diseases that ravaged previous generations.
The Vax bus, reliant on public donations and the first of its kind outside of the United States, invites families to tell their stories. Each one is live streamed and recorded to form part of their latest documentary.
And I would like to see local government areas not allow this bus to be using public spaces to spread misinformation.
We have spoken with a lawyer this morning, and we are considering taking an action.
We'll see whatever we can do
That's
about
right.
the discrimination angle.
The same would go for any party, if a political party turned up, if activists turn up, if a radio station or any sort of enterprise turned up and just wanted to establish themselves in the park and run their business. that's not what a holiday park's for.
What sort of things have they said or done online since you asked them to leave the park?
They started to sort of attack us on social media, so they had a run at Facebook and our Google reviews, and they were just leaving false reviews. They were saying some quite terrible things about the business, which is just clearly untrue. I don't think we've ever turned away a family in our lives, and we're very inclusive, and we pride ourselves on our ability to give all families a holiday.
Leaving negative comments targeting the Big Four holiday park was one thing, but some anti-vax members made it personal.
They found my profile pic, they defaced that, they were posting it back onto our site. It's been quite disgusting, to be honest. It's been a really negative experience.
Fortunately, however, with the abuse came support.
Beautiful place, great facilities, amazing management. The coast has your back.
The park is beautifully kept and staff go out of their way to make sure campers enjoy their stay. Ignore any reviews that say otherwise.
Immunisation is absolutely essential to public health.
I've got broad shoulders and, we'll live to fight another day.
That anti-vaxxer group says it'll start travelling around Australia once our borders reopen. Ironically, they might have to wait until there's a vaccine first.